I would know a little bit about injury prevention. I would definitely know a little bit about my ethics. Medical legal aspects, I would probably know that if I had a breach of duty, that those breach of duties could either be malfeasance, misfeasance, or non-feasance, or the 3 types of those breach of duties. I would definitely know that, and I would know that if I left an ET tube in the esophagus, that would probably fall under misfeasance. Or if I said, listen, you stupid red-headed ginger person, that would probably be malfeasance, okay? Because I did it maliciously. And I would know that I did a breach of duty there. I had a duty to act, it was a breach of duty. If I killed that person and that person was 40 years old, then I would probably also know if I get sued, they might sue me for those years of productive life. So 40, I forgot what's productive life too. Although I'm getting close to no productive life. Wait a minute. Stop. So don't mind me, I'm talking about. Dang it, I'm not that close. Okay, so we probably know that how many years of a wage earner, not productive life anymore, just a wage earner. Oh, like that. And some of the same questions that you've seen on tests, again, are going to be in here. I would probably make sure that I know that actual damages has to take place to be sued in a lawsuit, that someone actually does have to get hurt. I would probably also know that Jessica and I are working on a truck together, and Jessica does something totally stupid as my EMT partner, that I might get sued under the borrowed servants doctrine, that she's working under my license and I'm supposed to be keeping an eye on her, or if the student's doing that. It's a borrowed servants doctrine, and that I could actually be in trouble for that. I would know that there is a standard of care, and again, I'd make sure I know some of those things about that. I would know what justice is. Justice means treating everybody fairly. I would probably know that I would be tried under a torts law and not a criminal law unless I raped somebody and killed them or something, murder with malfeasance. Then I might get them all, but I would know those different kinds of laws. I would definitely know the difference between assault and battery. I would know about confidentiality. Again, I would know ethics is the rules that govern a profession, and I would probably know what the SOAPM chart stands for, which leads me to another one. Wait a minute, what was that? Let me think. There's another charting thing. Shooting, sheets, chat. Not D-chart. I've never heard of it before. It was on the EMS question right there. It is, it's cheated. So the D stands for disposition. There's one out there. Have y'all ever heard of that? The cheated? Yeah, cheated. It's kind of the same thing, but the D in it ends in disposition. There won't be a question on that, but if you hear that cheated, then you're in the right way. Thank you, sir. I can look at my book on 2, because chapter 2 or book 2 now leads us to our favorite chapter, pathophysiology, I do believe. Do what? Okay, so I would definitely know about the cell, what's inside the cell, like the cytoplasm. I would know my mitochondria, those kind of things that does. I would know what can change a cell, such as necrosis or hypertrophy, one of those kind of things. And I would know that swelling is probably caused by increased capillary permeability kind of things. I would definitely know converts to the outside of the cell, like potassium and sodium, which we've had for months now. I would know about what kind of reactions I can have, like allergic reactions, like IgE, those kind of things. I would probably know about bonding, covalent bonds, and all those nice things. I would probably know what kind of muscles I have in my body, such as which ones are smooth muscles, which ones are striated. I would know the building up and tearing down phases of metabolism. I would definitely know the difference between hypertonic, hypotonic. I would know where my fluid spaces are in my body, like intracellular, extracellular, interstitial. I would know the difference between colloids and crystalloids. I would also know my types of shock, which ones fall under distributive, which ones would be obstructive, what is cardiogenic and hypovolemic shock. So in other words, which one is either an inadequate container, an inadequate pump, or inadequate volume. I would probably know about how my body, my respiratory system reacts to acidosis. I would know the difference between compensated and decompensated shock.
So she's going to...
I would know the difference between my T cells and my B cells.
Sorry. She's going over it. I'll review.
Yeah. It's a review for the morning.
Sorry.
It doesn't matter, Ro is recorded.
I don't care. I don't trust her.
You're gonna calm down, woman.
I would know what a hematocrit is.
What is... Ask her to repeat it. Because I didn't hear it either.
I would know what apoptosis is, or apoptosis, or autolysis, whatever you want to call it. I would probably know that MODS is multiple organ dysfunction syndrome, and that it can be caused by trauma and by, more likely, an infection, so sepsis. Human lifespan, I would probably know a little bit about it on different ages, just a little bit. I'll have a lot on that one. Which led us to pharmacology. I would definitely know that we have names for those, different names, like an official name and a generic name, those kind of things. I would know what kind of drug it would be called that would be harmful to a fetus. I would know the difference between pharmacodynamics and pharmacokinetics. I would probably know some of the laws that say what makes you have to put a label on a drug, and what schedule of drugging that could be, such as a benzo is a schedule 4, some of those kind of things. I definitely know my 6 rights. I would know the different types and routes of drug administration, such as what is the difference between enteral and parenteral. I would know the difference between an agonist and an antagonist. I would know some of those drug classes again. So if you had a big hard time with some of those drug classes, you might look over those again. I would know what diffusion and osmosis is. I would know some of the drug forms. Some some of your drug classes, again, kind of look at those. You don't have to go in depth over those again, but I kind of know some of those.
Classes like 1, 2, 3 or classes of drugs that are
Like,
harmful to a fetus.
morphine would fall under which class?
Class.
Okay, so not that class. It would fall under what classification of drugs? Opioid analgesic. I would know that. Yes. I would make sure that I know the differences between my sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. I would probably get that nailed down. What is my sympathetic going to do and what is my parasympathetic going to do? Again, I probably look over my drugs. I know the difference between like platelet inhibitors, thrombolytics, those kind of things. I would know my beta and alpha receptors. I would then also know how to give injections, whether they're sub-Q, IM, how to give those. I would know which IV cath has the biggest lumen. I would know if you're having trouble with math, now's the time to get that done. I would know what a pyrogenic reaction is, and that isn't wrong. I just found a typo on something else.
Would you get like parallel symptoms? Would you get similar symptoms from malignant hyperthermia?
No, malignant hyperthermia heats you up to 106, 107 quickly. A pyrogenic reaction can have a lot more different things like shivering and all kinds of stuff, headaches. You could, the difference would be what did you give your patient? Was it blood, was it IV, or was it a neuromuscular blockade? Ask that again. Both of them would probably be more systemic. A pyrogenic reaction means it has gone systemic, not a local infection. I would know about cannulating. I know those things. I would know my math. And those are the things I would know. That's not too hard, is it? Y'all want me to taste it? Do what? You can use your calculator.